Buenas noches a las todos, and welcome to another exciting episode of Los Lobos de la Lucha, your weekly CMLL programming here at the BC WrestlePod channel/network. And the dynamic duo of Lucha Libre is in the house tonight. Of course, my name is Mikey. I am El Jefe of BC WrestlePod. I am the face that runs the place, that runs the ones and twos. I am the bard of BC WrestlePod. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, with the exception of one. So someone corrected me recently that there is a final part to that saying, and I was like, oh, well, I like that a lot better. So, of course, joining me this evening is, my aficionado. He is the token white man of the group. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so it is great. It is fantastic. But Papa also is in the building, and he already has a fan club because Primo's like, is that the now famous Papa also I saw during the TNA Genesis pre-show? I didn't watch the full LOL.
Yes, it is.
Guys, he got an agent and everything. It's crazy around here.
Yeah. Funny thing is I was aware of cameras, but I was not aware of cameras looking at me.
You're just like, trust me, we saw you a lot.
Mhm.
And you had we weren't drinking the alcoholic beverages, but me and Radio were playing like how many times we took a sip of our water every time we saw you. We're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I have friends who were like
Immediately
constantly.
pointed at this Angel Lo-Fi immediately pointed at the screen LMAO.
It reminds me of that Leonardo DiCaprio meme, the one that's like when
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
like snaps and whistles and points. Yeah.
Oh, from
Yeah, I
Forget.
had my friends were constantly sending me clips. Like I was constantly the next day. It was just like ding, 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 and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And it's like, "I saw you on TV. I saw you on TV. I saw you on TV." I'm like, "Okay, all right now, okay." So, and none of them were the same clip, which was so funny.
Ah!
Maybe one of these days, you guys will see me down in Mexico at CMLL, and you're like, "Wait, is that?"
You got good use out of TV time.
Yeah.
For reals.
Funny.
It is fantastic. More on that all tomorrow though, because that's gonna be fun.
Yes.
But we are here to break down CMLL stuff. But love the video of you guys. How's how's the night going? It is going good so far. We are just getting started. Um I'm, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know if I'm coming through now, but my internet, guys.
Okay. Yeah, you
I
were
swear to
losing.
God, CMLL wrestling gods, please at least get. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I mean, we did have an earthquake, but like 2 days ago here where I live. But at the same time, my internet's being weird tonight, guys. So I might throttle a little bit and I might go in and out. So this is gonna be great. But to answer your question, Mr. Easton Blocker, night's going good. We're here to talk about CMLL, and it's great. And before we just jump into it, finishing off, Papa also on Ponte la Máscara, yes. And oh, if he's really spicy, he'll pop up on the kiss cam. LOL.
I don't know if
Listen,
my husband would be into that, but
just full
I
on make
would.
out on the kiss cam. Be like, come here.
Mm-hmm.
Pucker wet one. Also, he's probably not going to watch this, but shout out to Michael for going with you too. We love Michael in this household.
He sat there the whole time. He said he had a great time. He did. He had a great time, but he sat. I'm like up and down, up and down, up and down, and
He's
he
like,
just
I'm
sat there.
good.
He just sat there all calm and just sort of collected, and he patted me on my leg every once in a while. He's like, "You having fun?" I'm like, "I'm having a great time."
It's like party. It's like, woo!
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to Michael.
He's a good sport.
We love a good support husbando in this household.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But we're just gonna get into it. Yeah. That's funny. You see, that would work for a CMLL show. You're not supposed to.
No, that's fine. And I would not. I would very much watch everyone else around me and do what they do, which is mostly like drink and have a good time. So
And potentially be on the kiss cam.
Yes. And I would take my mask and wave it in the air
and try not to faint.
Yes. Try not to.
But, yes. Alrighty. So I love our before the show banter. It is great. But let's just get into it. So,
yes.
I mean, quick announcements. YouTube, Twitch, Kick. We have some merchandise. The coffee bot to help pay for these shows and streaming sites and pay-per-views will be popping up. Social medias at BC WrestlePod. Y'all know the drill. So let's get into why we're really here. And before my internet decides to kill me once again. So this, I'm just gonna say this. This was a very interesting episode of CMLL because, like we previewed last week, we got some AEW talent popping up into Viernes Espectacular because this was the special fin de Semana Internacional. So the shows all last weekend and leading into this week all had some AEW folks popping in and some Ring of Honor folks popping in for some matches as well. So we're going to talk a lot about that, specifically for Viernes Espectacular. But we kick things off like we always do here with our opening match. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Internet, for not being deterred this time. But we kick things off with our first match of the evening. This is a tag team match. So Magia Blanca and El Hijo del Pantera taking on Pulvora and El Coyote. I can never take El Coyote seriously in these
I was
pictures,
just thinking that
but I
same
also love
thing.
his mask.
I was just thinking that same thing. Every time I look
Oh
at the
my
picture, I found
goodness.
myself giggling.
For real. I was just like, shout out to El Coyote. We love him. I knew this was going to be a different show because again, a lot of the matches aren't really because especially the later matches wouldn't follow what we're regularly used to the CMLL. This is like one of the only matches that I was like, oh yeah, this is the opening match for CMLL talent. I thought this was a lot of fun, but again, I can't take El Coyote seriously in this picture. But you know what? I really did enjoy this match. Again, we say this every single week, and I'm gonna continue to say it. So on the count of three, let's say it together in the 1, 2, 3, and the fact that the opening match is gonna set the tone for the rest of the night, as it seemed. And like I talked about last week with Primo, the opening match last week ended up being like one of the top two matches of the entire night, too, which was kind of crazy. But this was a fun one. I do enjoy all four of these individuals. Again, we have seen them over the last couple of weeks, especially a lot of them were part of the Sin Salida cage match at the beginning of the month, which feels like forever ago. Realistically, it was only like 2.5 weeks ago. I was like, my how wrestling has how fast it goes. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. Um,
Give me a second.
well then,
My computer's doing something weird. I don't know what's doing. What's happening?
no, I'm here. I know my internet's acting. All right, so while Papa figures that out, so Age of Lo-Fi, this was decent, not your typical opener with these guys. I kind of agree. I think Primo, you and I talked about this last week when we were talking about, Viernes Espectacular. Last week's opener was pretty great and fantastic. This one was pretty decent. Again, I do like all these four individuals involved. However, I do think that maybe the combination of folks wasn't necessarily what I was used to. But you know what? Individually, I liked them, but I wasn't too sure about how I felt with them together. But again, it wasn't a bad match, but definitely not the energy kind of opening match that we needed because we needed it. But I will say though, even on the grand scheme of things, while this may not have ended up being one of my favorite matches, it was still pretty solid. And that's saying something because we did get some fun stuff this evening. So let me double check. So Papa, are we back? Are we no?
I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I can't see you or anything, so I'll just talk. So,
No.
like
How dare
literally, I don't know
how
what's
dare
going on.
your computer doesn't like my
It just
sexiness apparently.
like it won't even let me like I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So the beginning match, I really like the beginning match. This is a new thing. I was expecting the normal what we would normally get. So it was kind of a really neat sort of breath of fresh air to get the sort of CMLL talent do it. Like the ones I know. Like I know every one of these guys. I'm familiar with them. So it was really neat to watch to not watch. Well, it was neat to watch, but it was neat that they kind of switched it up because what is it normally? It's a relampag. What is it called? Oh God.
We've had it could be a couple of different iterations. Tag teams, like a lightning match or the
Yeah, the
relampago match.
lightning. Yeah, that's what I was expecting it to be was the lightning match. And then when it was a tag team, I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. And so no, this was that. And I think you're right. It set up the energy for the night. So
It's very true. So, I mean, Primo coming in, Magia Blanca kind of just floated around these days. He's been lost in the shuffle. And you know what? He also brings up a good fact. Normally, it's a minis or micros match that kicks things off.
Oh, okay.
Our smaller stars or the micro estrellas for
Yeah, that's
all
what it's
intents
called.
and
That's what it's
purpose.
called. Yeah.
So, but after all is said and done, Magia and El Hijo del Bandera do pick up the victory. And we move on into our next match for Viernes Espectacular, which was a this was a if I remember correctly, I think this was also considered a VIP match, but again, I could be 100% wrong. But this has been touted as Los Herederos taking on Los Viajeros del Espacio. So this is Valiente Jr., Max Star, and Futuro taking on the team of El Cobarde, Felino Jr., and Hijo de Stuco Jr. Once again, looking like he took a Sharpie and drew some eyebrows on that thing. Again, another one I can't take seriously, but I loved it. I was like, who's wearing this bike mask? Lord. Thank you, Primo. And every first match is always one fall. Lightning rarely matters. Rarely matters as there's usually under 10 minutes anyway. LOL, which is fair too. Again, Hijo de Stuco Jr. I can't. This I can't. I can't. It looks like he's wearing a bike helmet. Um, no, but so getting into the match itself, I do appreciate the boys in this match. I do love the Los Viajeros del Espacio, so Valiente, Max Star, and Futuro. I also feel like they have kind of been on a weird, like floating around, still doing some stuff, but not as prevalent like they were at the beginning of 2025 when we got to see them a lot, which is, I guess, the nature of the beast, so to speak. I thought this was a pretty fun match too. Again, this is what we're used to seeing traditional CMLL talent doing CMLL things in Arena Mexico. So I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I was like, I liked the match, but I feel like there may or may have not been some stuff that might have been missing for me per se to take it from. Oh, this was pretty decent. But and honestly, Primo, I think you're right with this one because I feel like you're putting it in words for me. It's like this definitely felt like a rough first half of the match. They did pull it together by the end, but yeah, I think that's what it was. I was like the first half of the match was rough. I was just like, guys, what is happening? Need to get it together, y'all. Get it together. Um, but they did pull it up by the end. So again, not bad, but I was just like, damn, it's a rough start to the show, you guys. Like this is not going great. Papa, what did you think about the of this particular 3-on-3 match? Oh no, I think his internet finally caught up to him. No, because now he is officially frozen. So we're gonna hopefully, yeah, exactly, exactly. So Primo, you're stuck. So it looks like you or me are gonna just be the ones until we can figure out what's going on with Papa Oso's internet. To kind of just give a peek behind the curtain, so to speak, right? My internet was acting wonky earlier when we were doing the NXT show. And so now it seems my internet is doing better, but still having some issues. Up there it is. There it is. He'll come back. He'll be coming back. So, alrighty. Let's get up. It's a call. It's all the call from Hollywood he's getting now. He's big time. Yeah, he's moving on to bigger and better things. So it's just like, fine, I guess, whatever. I was like, you don't need to. It's like, you're too good for us now. But honestly, no. All right, but back to this though. I think you're right, Primo, and I think to kind of put it into perspective here, I do think that you're right. I think the first half of the match was a little rough. They pulled it together, but these first two matches were not necessarily a good start to the show. But I will say that the rest of the show did carry. depending on how much you did like, the talent and the matches that we saw. And we're just gonna keep going. When Papa also comes back in, I can backtrack a little bit, but it would be Los Herederos, so the team of El Cobarde Felino Jr. and Hijo de Stuca Jr., who would pick up the victory over Los Viajeros del Espacio. And yeah, so we keep it going. Oh, look at that. Oh no. All right, hold it. Let me bring it back in. Your computer just
It literally
decided
just shut off.
Wow, that was
like,
very rude.
I was like, oh, okay, let me go here. I was like, and all of a sudden it just went boop.
It's like, what are we doing? No. Primo was telling me that you ended up leaving because you're getting a call from Hollywood. You're big time now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. If Hollywood were ever to call Papa Oso, be like, "Hey, so we want you to come do some stuff out in LA," I would be like, "Hey, you know what? If not forever, I would be a lot closer, so I could drive over." But it is okay.
Yeah, but I just don't like LA though.
I know. Neither do I. But I mean, I am there for a lot of the wrestling stuff. So I was just like, guys, I'll go there for the wrestling, but I can't live there.
Okay.
Like,
Primo, he got me.
Yeah, it's just like, gotta make excuses, talk to your agents. We see you. He's making some big moves out here. Like, I just want him to remember us when he does his, award acceptance speech. Be like, I would like to thank the little people from the. I was just like, we are the little people.
No.
He's just like, I'm good with just being a wrestling podcaster on the internet right now.
Yeah. That's good I'm good with that.
Hey, but you know what? We're doing pretty good. We're like at 478 subscribers. We're almost to 500, which is crazy. In the 3.5 years we've been doing this, I was like, guys, I can't believe there's like 478 people who subscribe and watch our shenanigans almost every week. So I love this little family. Alrighty. But before we move on, Papa, now that the internet and your agent has stopped calling you, any additional thoughts about this particular match?
I mean, it was good. I liked it. It's like,
and we move on. No, it's kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I like all the guys in it. I like, so I mean, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep it going now. So now we get into some of the fun stuff. I will say though, CMLL, I don't know what render we're using for Bishop Khan, but Bishop, I love you, but this picture, they did you dirty, my dude. They did you exactly. I was just like, I AEW used to use that picture too. I'm like, what happened? Whoever photoshopped this deserves to be fired.
Wow, that's rough.
It was bad. But picture aside, this sets up our tag team match. So CMLL versus AEW. Representing CMLL, of course, is Barbaro Cavernario, who is just a week off of having a bang-in and possibly match of the month for me against Mystico last week. And of course, he's teaming up with everybody's favorite, El Novio of CMLL, Soberano Jr. They are taking on the team representing AEW, which is the Gates of Agony, which is Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. Again, I am always going to be saying this. I love it when the wrestlers come out, especially the wrestlers who incorporate their actual heritage and culture into their wrestling attire when they come in. So shout out to Gates of Agony for their cultural representation. I love seeing that. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I wasn't sure how I felt. Gates of Agony is not bad by any means necessary. I wouldn't even say they're still green, but they do have less than double. They are in the singular digits of wrestling experience. I will say though, I had a lot of fun watching them, and they were in good hands, especially going up against Barbaro Cavernario and Soberano Jr. for me. I knew these two would take care of Gates of Agony, and you know what? This was a good match. I really had a fun time watching the CMLL boys do what they do best, and also watching Gates of Agony throw said boys around the ring ever so often.
Right. I'm agreeing with Agent Lo-Fi down there. I would rather this have been a 2 out of 3. I think it would have made it more interesting. I like the match. Don't get me wrong, but I think it would have made it much more interesting if it was a 2 out of 3 fall.
Especially with exactly like Primo was saying, especially with the style that they were working with between all four of them. And I think that's one of the few things that I don't want to say frustrates, because that makes it sound like I'm not appreciative, but that's the one thing that especially with when we get the AEW talent or any US talent coming down here to have matches, they don't follow the CMLL way of doing wrestling in Arena Mexico, which actually this is what Primo brings up right now. CMLL needs to put their foot down and make these AEW boys work proper lucha matches. That's kind of been bugging me. No, and I kind of feel it's been the same thing. So we're in our second year of covering CMLL, and I love the partnership that we're seeing with all the companies like AEW, CMLL, New Japan, Stardom working together. But I do want the AEW boys to be working proper lucha matches. It's kind of crazy that the very few women we have gotten from AEW have done the luchadora matches better than the men in terms of following the rules. So no, I'm serious.
You know, sorry.
It's okay.
You know, and I will say I agree absolutely, because it's like you come into my house, it's my rules. And I think that if US or even like European folks come into Mexico, they should fight like lucha style. They should just be like, this is why we're doing it. We're doing lucha matches. You're going to do exactly what we always do. This is what we're going to do. And I think that would make it more interesting, because it's always more interesting to watch someone from the outside to try to match what you're doing, and especially when they're not used to like the styles of the matches. I love that. I think it adds such a layer. And I think it's the same thing, like, and because it's funny, when luchas come to America, they have to fight in American style.
Mm-hmm.
So why would we not do it? And I agree with you. I think it absolutely. If I don't care, whoever you're from, when you go wherever you go, even if we went to Japan, if you're an American wrestler going to Japan, you fight their style. You learn their style.
This part, Primo, and you also get away from homogenizing wrestling in general. Yes, speaking of facts, preach, my brother, preach.
Absolutely. I hate how everyone. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion I'm about to throw out. I hate when people bow down to American style of anything. They think because Americans are involved, we have to do their thing. And that, which I hate, because if American wrestlers are going into Mexico, or if American wrestlers are going to like the UK or wherever, Japan, whatever, those wrestlers need to prepare for that style of wrestling. So, all right, I'm going to be going to Japan in like 6 months. So I've got 6 months to prepare myself to wrestle in their style of wrestling, not bring my Americanized anything and walk into a foreign country thinking you bitches are going to bow to me, because it's bullshit. And it's why sometimes these matches don't work, because the American style of wrestling is so different than like the lucha style. And so, but the Americans come in there, and I'm not saying the wrestlers are disrespectful by any means, but it is the culture that whenever Americans go in somewhere, everyone is supposed to like kiss our feet and do everything that we do. Like they're trying to appease us. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. It's your house. Let's do it your way. Because if I was a wrestler, that's what I would want. Because one, it would make me a better wrestler. Because not only do I know it, American style wrestling, but now you look at that. Now I have an inkling of understanding how lucha works. So now I can take lucha and mix it into my own and come up with something new to fight with. Or go to New Japan, same thing. And it's like, I don't understand why everyone wants to bow down to American style wrestling. I don't understand it. I'm not saying it's not exciting because it is, but if I'm being honest, lucha style wrestling is way better. Way
Preach.
better. And because
Preach.
of the culture of it, and it's I just, to me, it just feels like disrespect when you go into someone else's house and you basically snub your nose at their traditions. Learn them, because I think it'd be super fun to go and learn lucha style. I think it would be a blast. I mean, I'm not a wrestler by any means, but I would do it. It's like if someone said, "Hey, Papa, come on, let me show you how to do lucha." I'm like, "All right, let's do it, man," because it's so. Yeah, and I agree. It just as, and it's also, and I'll tell you, and I'll touch on this from a theatrical point of view. As a theater artist, back in the day, you used to have actors, you had singers, you had technical people. You had lighting designers, sound designers, set designers, costume designers. In our world today, if you want to be marketable, if you want to get a job, you have to be diversified. You have to be an actor, singer, costumer, or you have to be a light designer, costume designer, singer, or you have to be some combination of those things in order to be marketable. And that's the thing about wrestling. I think if you were a wrestler who not just understood, but not just learned, but understood different styles of wrestling, and you can incorporate those into your routines, I think it makes you so much more interesting, so much more skilled. So if I was a promotion, if I was a company looking for wrestlers, I'm looking for resumes that are like, I know how to do it. I know how to do American style. I know how to do lucha style. I know how to do New Japan style. I even know how to do UK. I'd be like, I want to hire you because I want that. It makes it so much more interesting. That's why I think in America, we get so tired of characters so fast, because it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And that's why they have to flip them from heel to face so often, because we get bored with it. Instead of that, diversify yourselves. Go learn another style and change up your whole style. I think it'd be amazing to see someone like, I don't know, I'm just going to Joe Hendry come in and like fight New Japan style. I think, oh my God, I would be like all over that. So to get off the soapbox, yes, I agree with that. I think that wrestlers across the world should diversify themselves and learn more than just what they know.
I think especially here in the States, I think the major promotions should do what all the other promotions do is like send their wrestlers for excursions too. But you know, and here's the thing. I love that AEW sends their folks all over the place, but they should be learning the styles and doing and following the customs and the rule sets of wherever they're going. Now, this could be a whole nother conversation too, but like the AEW works very well with all these other promotions, but I do wish the companies would put their foots down, be like, no, you're in our house, so you're going to play by our rules for the night. There is another said promotion, the big old WWE, I already know, does not like to play well with others, and so they would never send their talent around the world, which is very unfortunate. But to kind of wrap this up, I think I would love to see AEW talent, be a part of, doing matches with the rule sets that CMLL does every single week that we see. But Soberano Jr. and Barbaro Cavernario do pick up the victory over Gates of Agony. Yeah. So thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, that was totally Agent Lo-Fi's fault. Getting me all riled up like that.
We love it. And honestly, that's what makes the best content. No, but it's true. Look, to kind of peek behind the curtain too. Long time ago, Papa Oso and I and another one of our good friends, Adolfo, like what was it, about a year ago, we had like a short-lived podcast where we talked about these diversity issues and the things that we talked about in just a bunch of places that, our nerddom spaces, our wrestling, gaming, all kinds of stuff like that. But these are conversations that are happening. So yeah. But on a different and semi-back on topic note, is Soberano breaking the entrance audio? The woman just break right. Yeah, anytime Soberano Jr. just makes his entrance, like the crowd goes nuts, and the women are breaking the audio barriers. I was like, and you know what? We don't shame in this household. Like there were draws of women and men. They were a flooding us. They flood every time El Novio is on the screen. I mean, can you blame them?
Not at all.
We love it. Oh man, but let's keep this going. So after this match, though, this one was for us. God, this one was for us, the CMLL folks here. Again, this was another VIP match voted, and this was a mano a mano. When I saw this on the card, I was just like, I don't know, my heart is ready, and my heart was not.
No,
but like in the best way possible. I was like, no,
I agree.
Perfect. No.
It was. It really was. It was so funny because
we love Blue Panther and Ultimo Guerrero in this house.
We're watching it, man. You're watching live history right there. Live cultural history right there in that ring. And it's so cool to watch when you see these men who've been doing this for so long. And they're getting up there. We know they are. But man, it was like a master class in this style of this culture. It was a master class. This is one of those. It's like, watch this match. Let's talk about it. Watch this match. It was just so good. I mean, God. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was reading it and I was like,
I love this, Primo. I know it won't have any match of the year or anything, but this was what these two have done for literal decades now. Professional AF, and I agree.
And that's exactly it. But that's yeah, I agree. Match of the year, of course not. That's okay, but that's because I don't even look at it like that. As a non, brown human being. And having the privilege to be exposed to this culture, it is educational for me to watch matches like this. Whether they are like the most stellar matches in the world or not is irrelevant, because I'm literally watching cultural history unfold in front of me. And it's so, I was so into it. I was so into this match. And it's probably one of my absolute favorite matches of the night. And only because of who was in the match. And just watching it was an absolute privilege. This would have been a great match to see live. I would love to have been sitting right there watching it.
I probably would have been a mess.
Yeah.
I'm like, again, these two have been wrestling and have had this feud for decades, and every time they face off against each other that we've seen over the last 2 years, it never gets old for me. And Primo brings up a good point. The control they built and had over the crowd is something that very few. This crowd, listen, the CMLL crowd is always fun, but for this match in particular, I was like, CMLL crowd, y'all get one of these. Y'all did it. I was just like, ooh. And that's a testament to the talent of Blue Panther and Ultimo Guerrero too. Like this was just it was so perfection, no notes. Blue Panther picks up the victory here, and then the show of respect afterwards between these two. Like, I can watch you. I literally, it is fight forever. I was just like, you're probably gonna fight again, and I'm here for it.
Yep.
I'm just like, guys, this was a great way to end the show. What do you mean we still got 2 matches? Oh, okay.
Exactly.
I was like, damn.
I was like, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good now.
I will be honest. I will be honest though. After because of this match, I think I was like, oh wow, okay, the energy is back up. So this definitely helped out what we ended up getting for the last 2. I will say though, I did enjoy the last 2 matches, even if this wasn't on the card. But still, let's get into it. So again, like I said, Blue Panther beats Ultimo Guerrero here, but this was great. In our semi main event match, this was a number 1 contendership match for the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship. So somebody would be fighting Claudio Castagnoli for that championship in the near future. And then, of course, this is Hechicero, the Alchemist of CMLL and AEW, because he is signed to both places. Yes, I love
his whole thing. I just love when he does that.
And of course, Hechicero is taking on my suburban white dad, Roderick Strong. I love Roderick so much. I don't care what nobody says. He is your suburban dad, but I love my suburban dad. I'm just happy to see him in Mexico. I'm happy. Roddy has extensive background in being a very fun technical wrestler. I enjoyed this one. I really, really did. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say.
I enjoyed it too. I love Hechicero though. I just anytime he wrestles, I just love watching him. He's just fun.
Him and his straps, I was just like, ooh, kinky.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and I wasn't familiar with Roderick, but I liked him. I mean, I liked this match. I really did like it. It was my first introduction to him, so. And you know he's nice to look at too. So, but yeah,
you know what? This version of Roderick Strong, I 100% agree with you. I was just like, hey, no, but honestly, let's check in with Primo because
I agree with that totally. I do not disagree with you at all. I had never been introduced to him before. This is my first experience with him. So
and I agree with you, Primo, too. I love Roddy for his technical ability, but even in AEW, he is white suburban dad. He doesn't have much of a wrestling character. He is a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler, exactly. But nothing stands out the ring, which is 100% true. Now, again, I don't want to compare, but like Primo, you keep up on all the shows. We got the rematch between Lee Moriarty and Shell Hua over the last couple of days too, and I was just like, where I don't want to say that Roderick and Lee Moriarty are like the same wrestler, but when I look at those two, I was just like, Lee needs a little bit more work in terms of the character department, but like I am cool with that, and he makes things cool happen in the ring as the pure champion for Ring of Honor. I think Roddy is a fantastic wrestler, but he is very vanilla in terms of character. But also, I agree with you, Papa. He's not bad to look at. Marina Shafir, you're a lucky woman.
I mean, this whole match, I was watching Hechicero the whole time.
Yeah, Hechicero's great. He really is. Hechicero, I think, does a really good job of having fun and doing well with others. Mm-hmm. Like in school, he is the wrestler that would get voted for plays well with others. And you know what? I kind of have to agree because it's kind of the same case for Roderick in AEW too. Multi-person matches, whether he's in a trios or a tag team or like a 6-pack challenge, if you want to call it, Roddy does great. Like when we saw the 4-on-4 at World's End with him teaming up with Orange Cassidy, Timeless Tony Storm, and Mark Briscoe. taking on the Death Riders with Marina and then the 3 other boys from the Death Riders. Roddy does great in that. It depends on the singles. Like, again, I like his wrestling, but he doesn't have much of a character. So I am going to have to check out that 3-way, though. In all sense of the word. I was just like, y'all know what kind of show this is. Do you not see who is hosting this show? I'm like, somebody get it. I was like, y'all already know. But Roderick Strong does beat Hechicero, so this Saturday is when he's going to be fighting Claudio Castagnoli on AEW Collision for the championship. So I will keep you posted and let y'all know how that goes. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure Claudio's going to retain, but who knows? We'll see. Main event time, though. God, Gravity was not on the... Gravity got turned off. So this was for the AEW National Championship. This is the champion and the bald man himself, Ricochet, taking on one of our personal favorites here in CMLL is Titan. Before we get into the match, though, I want to read this. Also, I do have a gripe with CMLL AEW on this one, not the talent. This was a match to build for an AEW show with 2 AEW talent. You're not wrong, and it makes me mad. I was like, can we just have them be here just to be here, not to build for the AEW show? I mean, literally, that's like, not to say that Roderick, the Gates of Agony, and Ricochet shouldn't be here because I love them, but like, we don't need to build to an AEW show here in CMLL. We could have did it like we did a couple weeks ago, where we had Kevin Knight and Speedball just fight just because we're fighting people. I mean, that was like the dream match episode, but still, it was great. Like, we didn't have to build to a show or anything. So Speedball and Kevin Knight was like, yeah, we'll fight luchadors in Mexico. Let's do it. So, but this was our main event. This was for the AEW National Championship, Titan versus Ricochet. Again, gravity mode was off. God, this is actually a really great match. I was like, yes. And again, I knew Ricochet was going to do pretty well here because I was just like, this man is Prince Puma. He has had that high flying luchador ability, and he definitely put it into use here against Titan, who Titan has been getting some really fun shots the last month or two. I was just like, he's always up towards the top of the card, and he is great. I love him. Did I think he was going to beat Ricochet for the AEW National Championship? No, but I still love it. But I also still bring back what we talked about earlier. I'm like, I wish it was a stand. I mean, it's a championship match, so it is to one fall. But I was just like, but still, I had a good time with this one. I really, really do. I do like Ricochet, and Titan is always fantastic. I kind of agree with you, Primo. Great matches expected between these two. I didn't care about the outcome on this. It's kind of knew that was going in, and Ricochet is a big enough star. Yeah, that's very, very true. We love Ricochet, him and his bald head. Oh, man. Papa, what did you think of our main event for this one?
It was okay. I'm not familiar with Ricochet, so I didn't have any context for this match. I had no context for the weight of it. So like the championship, I didn't know anything about it. I was like, oh, okay. It was okay. It wasn't bad. You know, I love Titan. I love his work. And I mean, Ricochet did great. I mean, it was a great match. I just didn't know. I didn't know anything about it. Like, I didn't know where, I mean, other than when they said, but I didn't know who Ricochet was. I didn't know where he was from. I didn't know any of that. So, but
I mean, that's fair.
Right. I mean,
that's very fair.
So, I mean, I didn't have any expectations going in other than I wanted Titan to win, only because, you know.
That is very fair. So, I want to I kind of want to pose this question to both you, Papa, and Primo, but I think Primo, you probably be able to answer this a little bit more. So, because particularly this episode, when we talked about it last week, we would, over the course of, you know, the Friday and then the Sunday and the other shows, we were going to get some Ring of Honor and AEW talent. And again, if we were playing Booker and we were the ones booking the show, because overall I thought the show itself was fun, but still not to where I'm used to. Like, be like leaving CML and be like, oh my gosh, like every match was bop. And I was like, I had a good time. Again, I had a good time with all these matches, but I'm wondering if we had other characters that were coming from Ring of Honor and AEW, like if we had switched it up where they were placed over that whole entire weekend, I wonder if the show might have been a little bit different. So, of course, since Ricochet is defending his championship, I feel like he would be on here. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I would have loved to seen Lee Moriarty and Shelhua for the Ring of Honor championship in their rematch here. Also, we had Bandito over the weekend too, which is great. Um, that's also very true, though. This was a sellout show without Mystical and Mascara Dorada on the card. So I'm wondering if the energy of the show would have been different had we switched, the international talent who was going to be here around a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm biased. I would love to see Lee Moriarty on a Viernes Espectacular. And of course, Bandito is Bandito. So I don't know. Just some food for thought.
I don't know, honestly. I mean, maybe. I mean, the thing about it is, I mean, it would be different because if when you change people out, I mean, it could be anything could change. I mean, people be like, oh, well, I really, he's okay, as opposed to, oh my God, Ricochet is going to be there. Oh my God, but yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on the crowd, or not necessarily the crowd. Well, I mean, it is dependent on the crowd, but like the idea of, does the crowd know the wrestlers well? Well enough to be like, oh my God, I can't wait. So and so is going to be here from AEW or whichever company they're coming from.
That's fair.
But I mean, I guess it just really depends. I mean, I guess.
And I think that's
no, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's what no, and I think that's what Primo is kind of alluding to too, and agreeing with you. He says that Saturday was probably his favorite. The three Friday was the least for him. Still a good show though. Things just fit better on others. Yeah, I'm going to go back. Shelhua and Moriarty was beast. I'm just like, here's the thing, right? Side tangent. I am hoping that Lee Moriarty does some crazy stuff in 2026 because I think he is, at least in Ring of Honor and in this iteration of Ring of Honor, I think he is the best pure champion that we have had since the rebranding of Ring of Honor under the AEW umbrella, and I would love to see him be. He's had some baller matches, and 2025 was so good. It's so underrated, but that's a whole nother subject. But no, I agree. I think it just depends on where and the crowd and preferences and stuff like that. But still, it was pretty fun. Again, Ricochet is still our national champion, but really fun. Alrighty, now that we got this out of the way, let's preview this upcoming Friday. And we are kind of back to a regular CMLL card. So we got a lot on this one. So let me just get my notes up real quick because I got to make sure I read everything correctly. Here we go. So this upcoming Friday on the January 23rd edition of Viernes Espectacular, we kick things off with a mini estrellas match. We have the Depredadores versus the Metales Explosivos. So this is Mercurio, Minos Primero, and Minos Segundo, taking on Full Metal, Pequeño Polvora, and Rostro de Acero. So we are getting that. Then in a Relevos VIP match, we are getting Valiente Jr. and Capitan Suicida taking on Raider and Vegas Depredador. So that should be a fun one. Then finally, in what seems like forever, we are finally getting some Amazona action. I'm excited that the Amazonas are back on my TV screen, my computer screen. But it is the team of Lluvia and La Jarochita taking on the team of Persephone and Zuxi. So I'm like, our girls are back. I was just like, thank God. I've missed them on my screen. Then in an evento especial, we are getting Star Black, Star Junior, and Espinhe taking on Difunto, Barbosa, and Furia Roja. So this is still fun. But guys, I am super excited. I am biased as hell. In the Lucha semifinal, we get the return of Flip Gordon. I am so happy that Flip is back from injury. I am so ready. It's gonna be Flip Gordon and Titan and Will's and Papa Oso's baby daddy, Templario. Oh, I saw that movement right there. It's just like, ooh, there was a bit of flustering in those eyes. But it is Flip, Templario, and Titan taking on our other favorites in here, Soberano Jr., Barbaro Cavenario, and Utani. This has all my faves in it, you guys. I don't know if I can contain myself. I'm so ready for that match. But then in the main event is the Lucha Estelar match, Místico and Máscara Dorada versus Averno and Ángel de Oro. Um, and Primo, you do bring up a good point. Still no Neon. Hope he is good because, you know, he is still out of action after landing on his head about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So hopefully all is good. But we're back to like a typical CMLL Viernes Espectacular card, and I'm here for it. I'm so happy Flip is back. I now that we have Soberano Jr. and we have Flip back, I was like, all is right in the world. Now I'm just waiting for our lovable pipe. I'm waiting for our lovable pirate in Zandokan Jr. to be healed up from injury, and then everything will be right in the world. And Neon too. I want everybody to come back because then we can get things on and popping again. But yeah, that is it for Los Lobos de la Luchas this week. I'm excited. I can't wait to cover this Friday's episode next Wednesday. And yeah, so that's going to be it for us here tonight. We do have some fun stuff still coming up this week. Tomorrow evening, I don't know how this is going to go. And if you think well, every episode here is chaotic, but tomorrow is going to be extremely chaotic because we are having the Mystery Wrestling 21 post show tomorrow to review Mystery Wrestling 21. So comedy wrestling at its finest. I don't know how this is going to go because this is going to be a big team, a brand new team. It's going to be chaotic AF. It's going to be all over the place, but I don't have to lead it. So I'm just going to be showing up as a participant. So I'm going to be a little gremlin. But that is tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. And guys, this match had everything. It had a Sasquatch. It had a hot dog. It had like all the crazy stuff. British wrestling at its finest because it took place in Cardiff, Wales. It is a fun time. And then we wrap up the week on Friday with TNA Genesis. Primo, if you're still here, I know you don't watch the TNA, but you should come at least for the beginning and, you know, razz up our new Hollywood star and Papa Oso as he's going to tell us his experience as he was inside the building for Genesis while the rest of us plebs were watching it at home. But no, we are going to break down TNA Genesis. And TNA has had a rough 2 weeks, you guys. We've already talked about it ad nauseum. And we're going to talk about whether Genesis was a step in the right direction or if it is a sign of the times to come. Spoiler alert, we're still not sure. And we're going to discuss all that tomorrow or on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. But thank you so much for tuning in. Primo, as always, we're really happy that you found our little corner of the internet and now you are familia with us here and we appreciate your commentary. Papa Oso and I will be back. Well, we'll be back together again on Friday because apparently we spend a lot of time together throughout the week.
Can I say real quick?
Go for it.
Talking about TNA real fast.
Do it.
The funny thing about TNA is this TNA Genesis that I went to see was on my dad's birthday.
Oh, now I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
So I did not know that, and that makes it even more special. And now I'm going to sign us off so I can go cry in the corner. Not out of sadness, but of oh my god, that's so precious. So I did not know that. We're gonna talk a little bit afterwards, Papa. But thank you so much for tuning in for Los Lobos de la Lucha. We will be back next Wednesday, same time, 8 p.m. Pacific, to continue to give you all that Lucha Libre goodness. So, from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay by iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you later tomorrow for Mystery Wrestling. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.